Before we get started, anyone interested in ordering Mr. Lindell's 4-CD set, go to metaphysicalarttheater.com. For those in the U.S., you can order physical copies or the digital downloads. For those outside the U.S., you can order the digital downloads by going to metaphysicalarttheater.com.
How you doing, sir?
Just fine, thank you. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You said something prior to us starting to record, and you said that people say make it simple, but you say that it already is simple.
Yeah, it is. It says to be happy. Think only on things lovely and of good report. There it is. Think only you got on things lovely and of good report. If you're thinking only on things lovely, and as you think, you are, you do, you have, you be. That's simple enough to me. I think if they just really replay that over and over in their head for a little while, it might just start something that they were unexpected. But it will do for you what you allow it to. See, blessed is the man that does not condemn himself for that which he has allowed. See, we've allowed a lot of thoughts that yeah, well, you see it. Yeah, you tell them that's the way it works, but if it works for them, then it works for you too. It's one for one, and there is only one, and it's all things to all. Is that really that hard to grasp? I mean, we're talking about God. See, all things to all. So why is the next step of believing that so difficult? I mean, you ask him, do you believe in God? Oh, I believe in God. Do you believe God's promises? And he kind of stalled there. Well, if you believe in God, why don't you believe his promises? I mean, come on. See, the frustrating thing about this is that we have to play this for ourselves too. You understand? Because we're not paying attention all the time. That would be great if you were, but believe me, I know you're not paying attention all the time, because you wouldn't be having problems if you were. Isn't it right?
It is right.
If you were paying attention all the time, they wouldn't have any problems, right? You're not paying attention, man. You just suck it up like a vacuum cleaner. All the things you don't want. And then you forget they empty the bag. No. We're not trying to make this funny, but actually, it says even God laughs. I mean, what is it? He's laughing at our antics. What else could he be laughing at? He's the one having the dream. He says, I suffer with you, but you behold me not. There it is. He's telling you right there, I'm with you, but you're not paying attention. And all you have to do to pay attention is just only, that word only, that's magic. Think only on things lovely and of good report. That's pure magic, isn't it?
It is. It is. But there's the challenge. There's, as some people say, there's the rub. That only, because we're so bombarded with thoughts.
Yeah, we do. We just get caught up in what's going on around us, rather than taking the time to focus on what's going on within us. I mean, come on, that's where it's working. This is where you play the theater of mind, right in here. See, and if you're playing it according to ordering your conversations right, you're told you'll be shown salvation. And aren't we told, work out our own salvation?
Absolutely.
Okay. What are you doing? Working out your own salvation is getting rid of the nonsense. And yet, believe me, once you start looking for it, you'll find out you got a lot more of it than you really thought. As a matter of fact, it's kind of embarrassing, but that's another story. But attitude awareness, see, what has your attention has your life. So if you're not being aware of it, then you don't know what you're doing or where you're going. See? But if you're aware of it and you do know where you're going and what you're doing, see, that's happiness. It's the surprises that knock you off your feet. But that's not really true either. They're not really surprises because you thought it up. If you look at what's happening and it's something that's displeasing to you, if you kind of trace back to when that subject was brought up, maybe by somebody else, maybe it was just something you overheard. But if you thought about it in a negative sense, you're attracting that to you. See, I'm telling you how it is you're causing your own problems because you're dreaming them up. And this is a dream. And actually, even when you're out of this one and another one, it's still a dream. It's all a dream. It's God's dream. But he has given you, choose this, and you're doing so. Aware or unaware, you are doing so. But believe it. And if you'll believe it for even a few minutes to test it, you open up worlds. And that's what you're supposed to do. Feel after him and you'll find him. And the him you're feeling after is right here with you. It's you. It's you you're feeling after. In a better light. Doing everything better. Better than the best you've yet not done. I mean, that can't be all that hard, could it? Better than the best you've already done. See, we don't have to go back on anything. See, right here, right now, you're given a pass. It says, blessed is the man that does not condemn, and woman, that does not condemn himself for that which he has allowed. See, you allowed these things. Think about it. All you have to do is look at the situation and then look back when you first thought about anything about that situation. And what feeling did you have in that moment? See, that's how important it is. That's it. It really is. Feel after him. That's to you, right here, right now. I'm with you always. I will never leave you. That's what God says. You say you believe him. Do you believe his promises? Come on. If you don't believe it, you don't have it. He says, you ask not, or you ask amiss. See, now wouldn't you think about that a minute? That you ask, but you ask amiss. What would be amiss about it? You don't believe it. That's it. You don't believe it. You really don't believe it. It sounds really nice to the ear. It really does. In fact, it'll even give you little shivers at times. But the point is, you have to enter in and think from it, not of it. We're told not to judge by appearances. You see, that's what's right here, right now. But you're thinking ahead of your evidence, so you're past that. Just a little bit, but you're past it. You're always thinking ahead of your evidence. Tell them, DeCarlo.
Oh, can I speak? You said a number of things, so I want to make sure that we cover those things. You told them right here, right now is the moment of desired change.
Understand that's the only time there is right now. Right now. This is the only time there is. And you're told now is the appointed hour. Appointed hour for what? For desired change. Desired change. There's always going to be change. I mean, who doubts it? There's going to be change. Everything goes away eventually anyway, because this is a virtual reality. It isn't reality. It may seem to be reality to you, which is what was intended for the dream to seem to be reality. But it is reality, but a virtual reality. In other words, everything goes away here, and in reality, nothing changes. So you see, that's the difference that makes the difference. But that's what you want to see before you try to enter in and start praying. You want to understand that you're not supposed to make it so. That's God's business, none of yours. You're to ask. You're to choose this day. That's all. That's all you need to do. Choose. Because that's where, see, choosing is actually asking, isn't it?
It is. How does one choose?
Yeah. Well, you see it in imagination and you say, that's what I wanted.
Okay.
That's what I have. That's what I am. See, you're always claiming what you are all the time. Think about it. Think about it. Every time you pass a mirror or something, you're thinking about something. See, you're always thinking ahead of your evidence. And if you have planned what you're talking about to yourself about, being in charge of directing your own inner conversations, is it lovely? Is it a good report? Is it? I mean, you should know because you're the one thinking it. Is it lovely and a good report? And if it isn't, why isn't it? I mean, what are you waiting for? See that waiting for what? God's here, right here now. I suffer with you, but you behold me not. And if somebody needs grace, you're asking God for grace. It's God who needs your grace. He's following your lead, and he's suffering what you're suffering. And he's telling you, I suffer with you, but you behold me not. Well, he's spirit. But you have to get in the mind for spirit. And you can. It's not denied. Nothing is denied you. That you have to understand. He gave you whatsoever. What does that not include? I mean, you really tell him.
Yeah. Absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. Especially as we're talking about freedom. So Mr. Lindell has given you the keys to freedom, and that's as you think you are. And when you begin to direct your own inner conversation, you're on your path to freedom.
Yeah, that's it. You see something? See, you don't understand it, but you're on all the time. You understand? You're on all the time. There's no place where you're not on. But what are you thinking about while you're on? Broadcasting out into the world. And what you're looking for is actually looking for you. Think about that. That has very scary possibilities right there. Now, what you're looking for is actually looking for you. I mean, you think about that a little while. Just see where it leads you. Look, the whole thing is that it is yours, but you do have to claim it. That's it. You have to claim it. Step up and say, I am that. And believe it, because you are that. If you do believe it, and believing is receiving. And he says you receive not because you ask not, or that you're asking amiss. Now that asking amiss, you should actually kind of look at that. Why is he telling me I'm asking amiss? That I'm missing it? Well, I was missing it too, but the thing of it is that it's right with you now. I am right here, omnipresent. What do you want? Do you know? Could you spell it out in just a couple of words? I doubt it. I really do. Because you see, the only reason you'd really be that sure of it is because you're passionate about it. And if you're passionate, you're on your way. but you have to become passionate about what am I really looking for? Is it with me? It is. All you have to do is recognize it. And that's difficult because, like I say, we're so conditioned to the ongoing drama that it's just, it's always right there with you. Close your eyes, but you can still hear it. So it's all there, but you can actually step outside of it. And it sounds like it would be something difficult, but actually, when you do it, it's simple. It really is. As you think you are, you do, you have, you be. That's simple. Keep it simple. And that's what I was told. Keep it simple, stupid. And it took me a long time to do that. It really took me a long time just to be able to sit down and shut up. All these things, a whole maze of things are going to just start coming. And even more so if you're trying not to pay attention to it. But you can do it. And how do I know you can do it? Well, it was God who told you to do it. And I doubt if he'd be telling you to do it if he thought you couldn't. See, it's all simple if you keep it simple. If you start complicating it, you start wondering, well, why was this and why was that? And it's really none of your business, really. Right now is your business. And there's always right now. So you're on all the time. On what? Yeah, that's an open statement. Attitude, awareness, imaginational control. Look, if you get these, you just stroll through. If you really do understand your attitudes toward life in general and deal with it, you can just stroll through. But you sit and dream up monsters, and then you're running off to God saying, "Oh, what?" He's telling you, "Well, I gave you choose. What are you choosing? Choosing to sit and think about negative stuff, and then you whine about it? Come on." Look, it's as you make it for yourself. They themselves are makers of themselves. I don't know who said it, but whoever did, he's right on. So many things that you don't want to even know what's going on. You'll find out what's going on. But look, people want to know how to be happy. Come on, you have to just decide to be happy. Don't you see? You decide I am happy or I'm unhappy, but you suffer whatever it is you're claiming. And then you go to God, and ask for grace. He needs your empathy. He's suffering with you, and it's you who's choosing the things you suffer. Believe it. You're in charge, even if you're out of control. Think of that. You're actually in control using the power, and you're out of control. Now we see it every day. We hear about it every day. But why does it keep? See, we're judging by appearances, and we're told not to do that. You see all these news and you think, oh, that's going on. But you see, if you take a negative tint to that, you'll experience it because you thought so. Because it's as you think, you are, you do, you have, you be. And yes, I do repeat that often because I know how stone-headed I was to get it. And I heard it many times, many times, because I listened to Neville's tapes for years, 45 years or more. So I know how many times I heard it. But it has to take root. You see, you have to keep feeding at that idea to keep it alive. Just like you keep alive the nonsense that you want to get rid of because you won't let it go. Well, don't let go of what you desire to have, and you'll have it. That's all there is to it. As you choose this day, that's what you're experiencing. Believe it or don't believe it, it's always up to you. But it's your message. See, I didn't make any of this stuff. I didn't figure any. I didn't figure anything out. I assure you. No, if you really just tune in on attitude, what just know what your attitudes are. Because I'll tell you this, actually, when I really became honest with myself in doing this, I had terrible attitudes about some things. Just and I don't even know why or where I got them or anything. I just had a rotten idea about certain things, and for no good reason. But you can justify anything if you really want to. As a matter of fact, that's how most people are living their life. They're justifying everything they're doing as being the right thing. But let me tell you, if you're thinking it, it's you who's suffering it. See? I mean, and we're told very plainly, not one is worthy. So there you are. I mean, get off your high horse. Ain't no worthiness out there. So it's what you think you are, you do, you have, you be. See there, I said it again. But that's what it is. And if you keep it that simple, and then you'll keep remembering it. Look, I'll tell you what I did. I took Neville's tapes away, and I listened to, well, it was tapes, really. No, actually, it wasn't even Neville's tapes. This was from people who actually were at the lectures, and they made tapes of it, and we traded. You see, because so I made tapes, they made tapes, and so we traded them. But and I listened to them, and I listened to them for years before I actually decided to actually test it for myself. I mean, I was hearing about everybody else doing it. What are they doing? See, that was it. See, you can't see what they're doing, but what are you doing? That's what's important. It's what are you doing? What do you think of you? Boy, that's a tough one. I mean, to be honest about it, it's tough. But yeah, I know. So about being happy, you just have to choose to be happy. Well, why not? If you can choose to be unhappy, and that's what people are doing, they're choosing to be unhappy. Why won't they just choose to be happy? It's the same one power. There's only one power. So you're either making yourself happy or miserable. And if you're being miserable, it's only your own thinking. See, I'm trying to simplify it down to the nitty gritty of it. And yeah, I'll tell you, the thing of it is when you quit lying to yourself, everything straightens out. And I know that because I was a big liar. I mean, I was always lying about something. And I just make up a story for whatever. What? But you see, these are the things you give up. And you're not really giving anything up that's of any value. But these are the things you give up. And by what I mean by giving up, let go. See, you're told to let go and let God. He's right here with you. So if you'll let go and let him, see, he gave you choose, so you can choose not to choose and let him choose for you. Oh, now there's an idea. Why wouldn't you take it and run with that one for a while? See, it's always up to you. You are what? Thinking what? When you read scripture, you'll see all the different individuals, and it tells you what they're thinking and feeling at the moment, and then you see down the line, and that's what they're doing. So it's giving you an actual, here, this person's doing this in his mind, and he's doing it out here now. What more proof do you need? tell you, once you get the idea and catch yourself, it's wide open. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, and it's wide open. You can choose this day, and it's always this day, so you're in on time. I get confused about that. This day, they just seem to go so fast. I mean, here it is too, and we just had a talk, didn't we?
We did.
All I can keep telling you is it's your own attitudes. You're suffering. You're suffering your own attitudes. If you're happy, you're suffering your own happiness. It's a matter of what are you choosing? Choose. Actually choose. I mean, I remember Neville saying, you go into a restaurant and because it's early in the morning, you tell them you want clams. Well, clams. He goes, yeah, I'm paying for this. I want clams. So a guy brings clam and he goes, hey, you got some sauce here? See, you have to ask for what you want. See, he says you receive not because you ask not. You have to ask for what you want. And you're not letting God know what you want. You're letting you know what you're asking for. Because most people don't know what they're asking for because they're not paying attention to what they're asking. They're only thinking about what they want, but how are you asking for it? See, you get what you expect. Simple as that. If you're going to the church with that look about you, then just stay home. Really. You are the church. If you can't get it together at home, what makes you think you're going to get it together there? You're going to take the same thing you were sitting here worrying about and go worry about it right there. Instead of getting rid of it, you're going to bring it home with you. When you pray, believe that you have already received that for which you're asking. It's that simple. I tell you, it really is that simple. But the only way you'll find out is test it. Test me now herewith and see if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. You don't even have room to receive it all. And here you are whining about what? Complaining about what? I mean, that's what you're going to get more of because what I told subconscious mind was to produce your world according to as you think feelingly. So if that's the mood you want to get pressed out again, well, look, there's nothing transforming even in death. Your say is a valid say, and you don't change nothing until you change your valid say. Simple as that. Is that simple?
It is that simple. So how do you change your say?
Attitude. That's all it is. It's all about our attitudes. I mean, ask all the great minds down through the centuries, and they say man is his attitude. And the only reason you don't see that is because you're lying to yourself. Yeah, I know because I did it. You lie to yourself. You say, or you put it off to the side for later. Then later says, are you ready now? Well, later. And then you forget it. And I forgot it, and I forgot it, and I forgot it. But you see, once the idea is implanted that your say is a valid say, it'll haunt you until you say it. Your valid say in the direction of your dream come true. But that's all you're told to do. All denial is self-denial. God's not denying you anything. As a matter of fact, he's just, when you turn to me, I'll turn to you. Well, he's already said he's going to turn to you when you turn to him. Well, why don't you turn him? See, people say, oh, I do. I tell him, yeah. And then what do you do? Then you're telling him how to take care of things. No, I sit and listen to people come for a private interview, and like I said, the first 5-10 minutes, they're either bad mouthing themselves or they're telling God didn't quite understand what they want, so they're going into this long explanation. I said, God knows what you have need of even before you ask.